Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, in the previous lectures, we have discussed what is sodium carbonate. Then we have discussed what is the occurrence of sodium carbonate. In occurrence, we have discussed different crystalline form of sodium carbonate. After that, we have discussed how can we extract sodium carbonate from the different plants and vegetations like Brilla and Caleb. After the extraction, we have discussed how can we extract or how can we mine sodium carbonate and how different crystalline form of sodium carbonates are processed and converted into the sodium monocarbonate or monohydrate. Then we have discussed how can we prepare or synthesize sodium carbonate in industry. We have discussed different methods like dual process. In dual process, we have said that there is the production of ammonium chloride, which is nitrogenous fertilizer, and along with that ammonium chloride, there is the production of sodium carbonate. After that, we have discussed Leblanc's process. Then we have discussed Solvay process. In Solvay process, in the previous lecture, we have discussed how can we separate sodium carbonate from different byproducts. We also said that there is the difference between dual process and Solvay process. In the dual process, there is the production of ammonium chloride, but in the Solvay process, there is no production of ammonium chloride because here ammonia is recycled and other many things are recycled for the production of sodium carbonate. Now, in this lecture, we will discuss how ammonia is recovered or how ammonia is recycled. After that, we will discuss what will happen to the calcium chloride or calcium hydroxide. Then we will discuss what are the advantages of Solvay process and disadvantages of Solvay process. And at the end, we will discuss the uses of sodium carbonate. Now, let's start our today's lecture. And the first point is recovery of ammonia. Here, we will discuss how ammonia is recovered when sodium carbonate is collected in Solvay process. And the first point is the filter liquor contain unreacted sodium chloride, substantially all the ammonia with which the brine was originally saturated, present as fixed and free ammonia. The fixed ammonia or ammonium chloride corresponds to stoichiometric alloy to the sodium bicarbonate that had been precipitated. Free ammonia includes ammonium hydroxide, bicarbonate, carbamate, and the several possible carbon compounds of ammonia that decompose at moderate temperature. Now, what is the meaning of this point? Students, he said that in the Solvay process, there are two types of ammonia compounds. First one, free ammonia compounds, and the second one, the compounds in which ammonia is fixed. And in the free ammonia compounds, there are sodium bicarbonates which we have precipitated before calcining process, and after that there is the free ammonia, and free ammonia is in the form of hydroxides, bicarbonates, carbonates, and different compounds in which ammonia is present, and that will decompose and give you ammonia. So the gist of this point is that there is two types of ammonia. One is free, another is fixed. Fixed is in the form of bicarbonate and free is in the form of sodium hydroxide or hydroxides or bicarbonates or different compounds which include ammonia and decompose to give you ammonia. Now the next point is, before preheating, sulfide solution may be added for the Crayon protection. The sulfide is distilled for eventual absorption by the brine in the absorber. The filter liquid is preheated by indirect contact with gases leaving the distiller. The warm feed liquid then enter the main coke or bulb cap feed section of distiller, where heat decomposes free ammonium compounds and steam strips almost all of the free ammonia and carbon dioxide. Students, in this point, he told us how can we protect our devices or our machinery from the Crayon by the addition of sulfide, and how that sulfide is distilled. Then he said that how we can recover ammonia from different free ammonium compounds. So students, in these 2 points, we have discussed just 2 things. In the first point, we have discussed there are 2 types of ammonia, fixed and free. Then in the second point, we have discussed that how that free ammonia compound are decomposed and how ammonia is recovered from those compounds. And we also have discussed that how can we protect Crayon by the addition of sulfides and how that sulfides were distilled. Now students, you have carbon dioxide free solution. Now what will happen to this solution we will discuss here. The carbon dioxide free solution is usually treated with milk of lime in an external well agitated limiting tank called as prelimere. Here the ammonium chloride reacts with the milk of lime and evolved ammonia gas is vented back to the distiller. The resulting hot calcium chloride solution containing residual ammonia in the form of ammonium hydroxide flows back to the lower section of distiller. Now students, in this point, he told us 2 things. First one is how ammonium chloride react with milk of lime and evolved ammonia. After that, he told us that how resulting hot calcium chloride solution contain ammonia in the form of ammonium hydroxide, and that will flow toward the lower section of distiller. I'm going to repeat this point again. The carbon dioxide free solution now treated with the milk of lime. Here ammonium chloride react with the milk of lime and that will evolve the ammonia. Now ammonia gas is evolved. After that the residual solution is remained behind. Now In that residual solution, which contain calcium chloride, also contain ammonia in the form of ammonium hydroxide, will move toward the lower section of distiller. Now the next point is, low pressure steam sweeps practically all of the ammonia out of the lime solution. The final solution, known as distiller waste. The final solution is known as distiller waste. Contain calcium chloride, unreacted sodium chloride, and the excess of lime, and is diluted by the condensed steam and the water in which lime was conveyed to the reaction. Now students, in the first point we have said that the residual calcium chloride solution, which contain ammonia in the form of ammonium hydroxide, will go toward the lower section of distiller. Now what will happen to that solution? Now low pressure steam will sweep up or will grab up all the ammonia from that solution. When all of the ammonia is removed, now what things are remained in that solution? Those things are calcium chloride, sodium chloride, and the excess of lime. So students, till now we have discussed how we separate ammonia from the residual waste, which contain calcium chloride, sodium chloride, and ammonia in the form of ammonium hydroxide. And we have separated ammonia. Now the things which remain in that residual waste are majorly calcium chloride and sodium chloride. Now what will happen to that waste material or the waste solution? The distilled waste also contain the inert of this solution. However, the waste liquid are usually pumped to the settling basins where the suspended solids are deposits. The clear overflow contains dissolved salts, which are objectionable contaminants, or locations where the quality of the receiving water is materially affected. And the second point is, close control of the distillation is required to thoroughly strip carbon dioxide to avoid waste of flame and achieve nearly complete ammonia recovery. The hot mixture of wet ammonia and carbon dioxide leaving the top of distiller is cooled to remove water vapors before being sent to the absorber. What is the meaning of this? Students, in the ammonical chamber, we have fed ammonia to the brine solution for the preparation of ammonical brine. Now, for that, ammonia must be free of water. So, before sending it toward the ammonical chamber or the absorber, we must remove those water vapors. We must remove those water vapors. When we remove those water vapors, now we can send that ammonia toward the absorbing chamber. So students, till now we have discussed how residual material is separated, how ammonia is separated, and how, in which form it is sent toward the absorber. And we also have discussed that there are two types of ammonia, which first one is free ammonia and the second one is fixed ammonia. So we also have discussed that how free ammonia is separated, and then after that we have discussed how fixed ammonia compounds are decomposed and ammonia is evolved or ammonia is collected. So that was the recovery of ammonia. Students, in the recovery of ammonia, we have discussed that lime reacted with the ammonium chloride and form or evolve ammonia. Now here we will discuss how that lime is prepared. So our next point is lime preparation. The most suitable limestone, hard and strong with low concentrations of impurities, is graded to reasonably uniform core size. Although other fuels may be used, the limestone is usually mixed with about 7% metallurgical grade coke or anthracite and then burned in vertical shaft kiln. Air is admitted continuously into the bottom of the kiln and gas is sucked off the top. The fuel burn in a zone a little below the middle of kiln and stones burn to the lime. Carbon dioxide is generated by decomposition of limestone and the combustion of carbon in the fuel. The kiln gas or the kiln gases are diluted with nitrogen from the air used to burn the fuel and usually stone dust, ash particles and gaseous impurities. The gas is partially cooled in the kiln by the upper layer of stone and further cooled and cleaned before entering the compressor feeding the carbonating columns. Now, what will happen to the prepared lime? The lime cooled somewhat by the entering air in the lower parts of shaft kiln is discharged intermittently and usually in rotatory slakers that produce a thick suspension commonly called milk of lime, which is stored in agitated tanks. So students, in this point, he said that the lime is discharged to the thick suspension and that thick suspension is called as milk of lime, which is stored in the agitated tanks. Now the next point is the heat of reaction produces milk of lime at a temperature of 90 to 100 degrees centigrade. Water addition is controlled to give a free calcium oxide. So students, in the second point, he said that the milk of lime now is heated at the temperature of 90 degrees centigrade to 100 degrees centigrade, and then he said that the addition is water is controlled to give the free calcium oxide. Now the third and last point in the preparation of lime is, in some operation, dry lime is used in the place of milk of lime. It is pulverized and added continuously to the prelimere in the distillation step. Students, in this lecture till now, we have discussed how can we recover ammonia. Then we have discussed how can we prepare lime. Now we are going to discuss the byproducts of Solvay process. And in the byproducts, the first point is, or the first byproduct is calcium chloride. Relatively few synthetic soda ash plants recover calcium chloride, and the most of those that do utilize only a small part of total amount of available in distilled waste to produce calcium chloride. The distilled waste liquor is settled and then evaporated in multiple effect evaporators. During concentration, most of sodium chloride separates. The remaining solution is further concentrated to the equivalent of calcium chloride. This solution is cooled, forming flakes which are dried in a rotatory dryer, giving a product solid as 77 to 80% calcium chloride. A small amount is processed to the anhydrous state. Calcium chloride is used on unpaved roads as a dust abater and as a dicer on highway in winter. It is used for freeze proofing and dust proofing coal and coke, in refrigeration brines, as a drying agent and in the cement products. So students, what he said in this paragraph. Students, he said that there are free plants which recover or which extract calcium chloride from the distiller waste. When that calcium chloride is separated from the distiller waste, it is in the form of dihydrate, or its crystalline form is dihydrate form. Now, few percentage of that dihydrate is converted into the anhydrous form. Then he said that calcium chloride is being used in different areas for the unpaved roads, and then he also said that we can use calcium chloride for the freeze proofing and dust proof coal. Then we also have said that we can use calcium chloride as a drying agent. So students, is it clear or not? I'm going to repeat it again. He said that there are few plants which recover calcium chloride. First point. Then he said that when that calcium chloride is recovered, it is in the form of dihydrate. Then after that he said that few percentage of that dihydrate calcium chloride is converted into the anhydrous form. Then he said that we can use calcium chloride in the different areas like unpaved roof for the drying agent, for the dust proofing agent, for the freeze proofing agents. So is it clear or not? So students, after the calcium chloride, now the next byproduct is ammonium chloride. Ammonium chloride is the principal salt present in the mother liquor from the crude sodium bicarbonate filtration in the ammonia soda process. So students, if you remember, ammonia soda process is the second name of Solvay process. So in the Solvay process, the ammonium chloride is the principal salt which is present in the mother liquor. Now the next point is small amount have been produced in soda ash plants by carbonation of filtered liquor, concentration and the crystallization of ammonium chloride. Ammonium chloride is a good fertilizer for important crops in rainy climates, particularly for rice. In Japan, the production of byproduct ammonium chloride is quite large. In one process for manufacturing large quantities of byproduct ammonium chloride, more ammonia is first added to filter liquor, which is chilled approximately 10 degrees centigrade. Solid sodium chloride is added, dissolved, and ammonium chloride precipitates, which is separated for sale, the mother liquor being recycled to the carbonation operation. So students, these are the uses and how we can prepare ammonium chloride or how we can recover or recycle ammonium chloride. Students, if you remember in the beginning of the lecture, we have said that we are not preparing ammonium chloride in the Solvay process, but in the byproducts we are discussing ammonium chloride in the Solvay process. So what changes are needed to recover or to produce ammonium chloride in the Solvay process will be discussed here. Now, the first point is there are significant differences in equipment of conventional ammonia soda process and the ammonium chloride producing soda ash process. For example, there is no recovery and therefore no distillation tower, likewise no milk of lime and consequently no lime kilns, which are also the source of carbon dioxide for the bicarbonation. And the next point is ammonium chloride producing process requires, unlike the regular ammonia soda plant, equipment to process solid salt and the ammonium chloride production, crystallizer, filter, dryers and cooling equipment for the corrosion resistant material. In addition, an ammonia source is required which is preferably also supplies carbon dioxide for the bicarbonation. Students, in those 2 points, he just explained what things are needed for the production of ammonium chloride and what things are not necessary when we don't want ammonium chloride. Students, after the discussion of recovery of ammonia and preparation of lime and also the byproducts like calcium chloride and ammonium chloride, now we are going to discuss the advantages and the disadvantages of Solvay process. First of all, advantages. It can use low grade brine. As you know that brine is the solution of rock salt in the water, like NaCl solution in the water or KCl solution in the water. If your solution is impure, then you can use in the Solvay process. Less electric power. What it means, in the Solvay process, there is less consumption of electric power. There is no co-product which have to dispose of, and at the last point is does not require ammonia recovery plant investment, because in the Solvay process there is the recovery of ammonia again and again, so there is no need of to set to ammonia plant for the production of ammonia again and again. So these were the advantages of Solvay process. Now we are going to discuss the disadvantages of Solvay process, and the first point is high salt consumption, higher investment in ammonia recovery units versus crystallization units for the ammonium chloride, waste disposal of calcium chloride brine steam, more steam consumption, higher capacity plant for economic break-even operation with current fertilizer storage. All of the ammonium chloride will be used as a mixed chemical fertilizer ingredient, so co-product disposal no problem. So these are the advantages and the disadvantages of the Solvay process. So students, the next one is the uses of soda ash. The manufacture of glass is one of the most important use of sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate acts as a flux for silica, lowering the melting point of the mixture to something achievable without special materials. This soda glass is mildly water soluble, so some calcium carbonate is added to melt the mixture to make the glass produced insoluble. This type of glass is known as soda lime glass. Soda for the sodium carbonate and the lime for the calcium carbonate. Soda lime glass has been the most common form of glass for centuries. Here, the thing which is very important is soda lime glass. Here, the soda is for the sodium carbonate and lime is for the calcium carbonate. Now, the next use is sodium carbonate is also used as a relatively strong base in various settings. For example, it is used as a pH regulator to maintain stable alkaline conditions necessary for the action of majority of photographic films developing agents. It acts as an alkali because when it dissolves in water, it dissociates into weak acid, carbonic acid, and the strong alkali sodium hydroxide. This gives sodium carbonate in solution the ability to attack metals such as aluminium with the release of hydrogen gas. So first use was the production of glass. Now the second use is sodium carbonate can be used for the regulation of pH, and sodium carbonate can act or can give alkali or alkaline solution because when it is dissolved in water, it will give you a weak acid which is carbonic acid and a strong base which is sodium hydroxide. So because it gives sodium hydroxide, so this gives ability to sodium carbonate react with react with metals and release hydrogen gas. So guys, these were two uses of soda ash. First one was the production of glass and the second one was the pH regulation and as a alkali or as a base. So students, here is the flow diagram of Solvay process. Students, if you have concept of Solvay process, then you can easily explain the flow diagram of that process. As you know that in the Solvay process, first of all, brine is prepared. Then there is the preparation of ammonical brine. Then that ammonical brine is converted into the ammonium chloride and sodium bicarbonate. Those are filtered. Ammonium chloride is separated and sodium bicarbonate is separated. That sodium bicarbonate is converted into sodium carbonate and that ammonium chloride then heated and converted into the ammonia. So students, in this flow diagram, those points are explained one by one. So first of all, in the left side, you can see that NaCl aqueous, it means this is brine. So that brine after the filtration now will go toward the ammonical chamber or ammonia absorber chamber where that brine is converted into the ammonical brine. So here ammonia absorber is pointed as 1. Now after the absorption of ammonia, now that brine is converted into the ammonical brine and fed into the Solvay process. Here Kiln gases are passed through it. Now that ammonical brine is converted into two major products. First one was ammonium chloride and the second one was the sodium bicarbonate. Now these products are then fed toward the filters. After the filtration, ammonium chloride is separated and sodium bicarbonate is go toward the kiln or calcining tar, which is pointed as 5. Here sodium bicarbonate is heated and converted into the sodium carbonate. Now our sodium carbonate is separated. Now there is the turn of ammonium chloride. Now what will happen to the ammonium chloride? Here in the chamber 2 you can see that calcium carbonate is decomposed. when it is decomposed, it is converted into carbon dioxide and calcium oxide. From these two products, carbon dioxide is fed into the carbonation torque or the solvator, which is pointed as 3. Now, what will happen to the calcium oxide? Now, that calcium oxide will react with water and prepared slaked lime or the calcium hydroxide. Now, that calcium hydroxide will react with the ammonium chloride and evolve ammonia and produce calcium chloride. As we have discussed in this lecture in very beginning, we have said that the ammonium chloride react with the calcium hydroxide and ammonia is separated. So here that point is explained that calcium hydroxide react with the ammonium chloride and ammonia is separated, and that ammonia which is separated will again fed into the ammonia absorber and calcium chloride solution is separated. As you know that the solution which contain calcium chloride also contain ammonia in the form of ammonium hydroxide, which is again separated. So guys, this was the flow sheet diagram of Solvay process, in which you have seen that there is brine which is fed into the ammonia absorber which produce ammonical brine. Then from the ammonical brine there is the passing of Killen gases which produce ammonium chloride and sodium bicarbonate. That sodium bicarbonate is fed into the filtered and fed into the calcining tower, where it is heated and converted into sodium carbonate. Then we have said that calcium carbonate then decomposed off, it produced carbon dioxide and calcium oxide. Carbon dioxide, from which carbon dioxide is already used. Now the calcium oxide will react with water, then it will produce calcium hydroxide. That calcium hydroxide again react with the ammonium chloride and evolve ammonia. Now that ammonia is then, after the removal of water vapors, fed into ammonia absorber. So this way that ammonia is recovered or recycled again and again, and calcium chloride solution is separated. As you know that in the form of solution, calcium chloride also include ammonia in the form of ammonium hydroxide, which is separated again.